YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Timberborn Strategy and Tactics, episode 13. So, we've just survived our latest drought. Things are still pretty dry, but we're starting to get the trickle of water coming in. And as always, we have a very busy wet season ahead of us because the wet season is always very short. So let's get these online, since the river will be rendering them operational shortly. Still not the greatest use of time here. I'm questioning the ability for the river or any rivers to really give us the juice that we need, so to speak. So I think I'm going to be doing something to, well, let's just say retool our resources in the near future. The other thing I want to do here is I want to get rid of this forester. We've kind of repurposed this land. I'm not going to rip up all the trees here, but I don't want to keep planting new ones. The forester has done its job, and this will all become wheat. So we will wheatify that. I'll wait for all these trees to grow themselves and then let them become wheat. And what have you. We have some tiles over here. Obviously, these are all going to be dried out at the moment. Yeah, our little pond here, almost dry, but our blue lagoon, how much do we, yeah, you know what? We ended that pretty comfortable. It's like a tile and a half, worth of depth. Now, that's not going to sustain the entire colony forever. But it is a healthy start that allows us to turn our attention elsewhere to more industrial pursuits. Speaking of, so yeah, we got this area going here. I'm trying to decide, I think this right here should be our sort of our industrial zone. I might demolish and move these inventors, because having a nice long strip is probably what we really want here. The other thing I might demolish, and move is actually going to be our lumber mill here, because what I want to do is I want to make a nice long strip of beaver wheels and use all of that to sort of get our stuff going here. But I mean, have it all in one big amalgamation, not just one wheel goes to one thing like I've been doing over here. Now, I mean, these are perfectly serviceable, so there's no real need to rip them up now that I'm thinking about it. But this will allow us to give us more room to focus on our engine for the future here for more beaver wheels. Now, I know what you may be saying. Hey, Pinstar, you mentioned engine. Did you know that the Iron Teeth have a unique power source called the engine that transmits logs into horsepower? And yes, I do know about that. It's garbage. It's absolutely garbage at the moment. Anyway, the reason why it's garbage at the moment, besides requiring some metal and gears and to be researched and all that, but that alone wouldn't discourage me from that. It's the fact that it burns wood by itself doesn't discourage me either, because I mean we have plenty of things that burn wood for fuel, and they do not discourage me. No, what discourages me from this is the fact that it goes all night. It not only burns wood much faster than, say, the bakery, but it does it 24/7, and no matter how hard I crack the whip on these guys, getting them to work 24 hours a day is not a viable option. So that wood is wasted, and I don't like waste. Thank you very much. So that is a non-starter here. Couple other things that I wanted to do as far as cleaning up this thing. I realized after the fact that these large row houses, not actually a good idea because they're not getting that bush bonus. So we're going to get rid of them. I have other plans for that tile, and there's plenty of room for everybody else, so we are not going to have homeless and destitute beavers, but we should be good nonetheless. All right. Yeah, that's the other thing I'm going to do here. We have plenty of science, so I'm going to destroy these three here. We'll get them back into the workforce. But we'll put them back to use. In fact, actually, let's turn these on because we're going to need a lot of planks. I know we've had these off for a while, and we've spent down our planks, but we're going to be using a lot of planks here. So it is time that we turn these back on. And we have an appreciable supply of raw lumber in here, so that's not so bad in of itself. All right, let's unpause. Let's just check our unemployed. All right, unemployed is all set. Yeah, one of our lumber mills and one of our power wheels is not being employed, but that's okay. Let's just make sure it's the same lumber mill and the same power wheel that are unemployed, so we don't have two of them offline just because of mismatching. Yeah, because we're going to need more beavers. We're going to need more beavers. So in that case, rather than go through the engine here, because I might do some more testing on the shape of that, let's go down the other thing that I wanted to do here, which is improve my my machinations here. So one thing that we haven't touched on is the monuments. Now the monuments are sort of like a big end game thing, or at least, you know, some of these are. This one absolutely is the last thing that you're going to be unlocking because of how freakishly expensive it is. Flame of Progress, pretty good, but no, we're going to start with the Laborer Monument, which gives us all one within 7 tiles. We have the 1,000 science needed, and we have the 200 wood to spare. What are we going to do with this? Well, we're going to unlock this thing. Where are we going to put it? It's going to be part of our housing project. Now, as you can see, its tiles and radius extends far beyond that. So we don't need to build it ultra tight and against that. But I still want to build it as part of this because that means that while they are sleeping in their houses, they are soaking up that awe. And I want to do the same thing too over here, which, you know, this one we've kind of neglected. So I'm actually going to destroy this small water tank because we can. We do because we can. And we want to plan out a large one. I'm just trying to remember and sort of adjust my thing over here as far as the mapping here. I still have my directions written, but it is slightly convoluted. We got this area updated here. Got our large water tower, our monument, and I even was able to squeeze one of these on here. I'll do likewise over here. Actually, you know what? Let's not build this just yet because the thing that we need this extra warehouse for is actually we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But there will be room for an extra warehouse on top of each of these rooftop refreshment sites. But we do want these built up here. So let's set our beavers to that task. All one, if I remember correctly, improves work speed and improves it by a considerable amount. So going through all of this trouble for that buff is actually kind of useful here. We're not just trying to flex and style on the game here by showing off. We're doing this for a pragmatic reason. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a flex to it there as well, I will admit. But yeah, pragmatism will always win out at the end of the day with me. Oh, there's one other thing that I wanted to do here. So one change here to our legendarily huge forester plot over here. And that is, there's this strip of land over here that is fertile, yes, but not really. I mean, we could put a farm down here or another forester to try and cover all this, and yeah, maybe that would be the correct answer, but I have a better idea. What we're going to do is we're going to utilize natural spread. And not just any kind of natural spread. What we're going to do is, hang on, we are going to cancel this strip of trees. And that's at the very edge of our forester. We're going to replace them with blueberries. Like that. And now, to make sure that these get planted in a reasonable time, we're actually going to tell them to prioritize this little strip of blueberries before anything else. And what that's going to do for us, once these get planted and once they grow and they mature, they will start to spread naturally. Now you might be saying, well, Pinstar, you're kind of drowning in blueberries. What's the deal? Why? Because I will eventually be ripping up all of these blueberry plants over here. This is prime real estate. This is really prime real estate. We can do so much more with this land here. It's fertile. It's good. It's centrally located. It's near all of our industries. There is a ton that we can do with this land. And to waste it on these freaking blueberry bushes is pretty sad, actually. But that being said, we cannot do away with blueberries entirely. We are the iron teeth. We need blueberries to breed, to make our babies. So this will be our supply of blueberries. And while, it's going to take a while for this to be the life-giving patch that is required to keep population growth going, we're planting the seeds now. And they will grow on their own without having to utilize another extra building. And then all this land over here we could use for industrial purposes, or heck, maybe make this our second thing over here and put our kindergarten over here. But either way, this will be the future location of our berries. And since berries are planted by the forester, not by the farmer, we can utilize our forester here. And then once they're done with these berries, they'll go right back to planting maples. And this little sliver of berries, taking off of the land for the maples, I think that's a worthy sacrifice just because of how ridiculously humongous some of this is. As far as our, how much land we have here. Yeah, it looks like we lost a level here, and that's why the fertility line retreated a little bit here. So we got these planted just in time, actually. But they won't die immediately. Yeah, it was just planted, but these things are hardy. Now, the other thing you need to make these things grow is to clear the planting area once they've been planted. That won't uproot them, but now the game considers them wild, and then wild plants are allowed to propagate once we get this area fertile again. And so with their task complete, our forester will continue and return to their job at planting 11 billion maple trees. And yeah, we still got our birch hunter down here cleaning up this area and getting getting the first supply of this obscene amount of wood. Man, we're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need a bigger boat. This tower of power might need to go higher, but that's one of the benefits of the iron teeth. But in the meantime, let's observe our busy beavers building up our monuments here so that we can get some awe going here. All right, good. Our water wheels are turning. Our basin is being filled. Our water pumps are pumping. And soon this basin will start to overflow. There it goes. And now you're backfilling our little hole here, which is excellent. That's what we're looking for. This area is like super long term here, and I'm still deciding where I actually want to end up putting our thing here, our second village. I don't think we're going to expand out to our second location, just because everything that we need is available to us here. Now we are using up some of our gears to make our large water jug here, but we're going to get more gears going here, probably in our next dry season. If we get more unemployed beavers, then I'll open up this extra thing of planks. But for now, all of these maple trees that we were planting thanks to our little dropper irrigation here. Also, I just realized that you're telling them to plant it right where the irrigation dropper is. That doesn't need to go there. But yeah, our little lumberjacks here will be quite the busy ones. Ainsley, hey! You're working on these for us. Where are you, Ainsley? Oh, you're taking care of some needs. Okay, Ainsley. Wait, why are you... What are you doing, Ainsley? Was your... Yeah, your flags. You should be cutting trees down. Or are we not... Are these not marked? These are not marked for cutting. That's why. Silly me. Not marking my trees for cutting. That should be implied. You know, is it a grown-up tree? Then cut. But I understand the need for the flexibility there. All right, Ainsley, start doing your thing. All right, you got one more log that you're carrying over. But now you're ready to start start chopping. Are there different benefits now to fertility? No, it's the same benefit, which is to say nothing, because there's no point to it, because they breed in tubes. All right, because I know they reworked these a little bit here. All right, laborer monument. Working speed 25%. That's what I'm talking about. A not insignificant bonus here. Ooh, we got 4 unemployeds. We can turn on our extra lumber mill here, and maybe start building our engine. But I want them to start their yes. You soaking up that? Yes, you are. See, look at that. So now when they come here to sleep, yeah, that's to be expected. That was not an unusually long nor short drought. And I'm gonna if I say this out loud, I'm gonna eat my words, but I'm gonna take that chance. We probably don't need to raise our level. Well, I don't think we can. By 1 here to make our Blue Lagoon deeper, though in a future, probably over the drought, we would like to do that. But I think we can survive on what we have at the moment. But also getting another huge water tank worth of... Oh, no, you guys are still working on this. You're still needing the gears. Gotcha. So we didn't even have all of the gears ready to rock and roll. Yeah, getting more gears is kind of being... Oh, no, Wilkins, Kimberlin is kind of our next thing. In fact, you know what? Let's get started on that now. Let's do that right now. Well, actually, you know what? No, we're going to do that in our next episode because I have a few more experiments with the actual engine of industry that I'm planning out. That's going to be my next big build here. So for now, we're going to let our beavers harvest some materials because we're going to keep them busy. We're going to keep them real busy. In the meantime, we'll just hope these churn out enough for another water tank here. There should be nothing else that is demanding our gears at the moment, nor do I want to put down anything that demands our gears. Yeah, because this thing just requires raw logs. It's a lot of raw logs, but it's just raw logs. And because they can build one up, they can just run across here and start pushing stuff into these. So the question is, will we get enough gears before the end of the wet season? I think we will. And And we're certainly going to get enough of these going here, enough wood here. I mean, yes, we are soaking up, we are using up a lot of the logs. We are at a significantly lower amount of logs than we started with, but these things took up a metric F ton. But I'm not worried because all of our lumber investments here are paying off and will continue to pay off. So and again, as you can see, with my investments over here, I have bigger plans. Beaver is stranded? The f are you talking about? Beaver is stranded. Oh. We'll get you out of there. Oh, you're stuck under the stairs, you derp. How old are you? You're 35? I have to say, like, well, if I delete these stairs, I'm going to strand another beaver. Alright, wake up, you schmuck. Roll bugs. Get up. Yeah, that's right, you're thirsty. Thank you. Alright, now we rebuild the stairs. And this platform. Yeah, because they were able to build this without this being done, but eventually we're going to need the access anyway. And a single stairway is not going to cause much grief. Alright, that's complete now. Nobody's stranded. We should get our gears enough to finish that thing and therefore fill it during the wet season. As the wet season is drawing to a close, it finally flooded our blue lagoon here, and is flowing out over here. There's still more manipulation I want to do to this area here, but for the moment, the blue lagoon will suffice for our needs. Okay, good. Large water tank. Now fill it. Now. Because, yeah, this is actually prime timing here on this large water tank. We do need to get our scientists back in action here. But we'll find purpose for them. We'll find a place for them. I mean, I could just put one right up here. But I know I want to be able to have a full storage material there. Yeah, we're just going to let them do their thing. Keep their chopping, keep their delivering. I don't want to burden them with too much expensive construction in the eve of our time here with the wet season. I'm going to need to do something about increasing our capacity for processing the grain, because obviously relying on the river is not sufficient. But again, that's going to be part of our engine, which will be in our next episode. Fill the large water tank, prioritized by haulers. You get prioritized, because yeah, I want this thing full before we start sipping at the supplies of our reservoir. One busy main thoroughfare here, but I'll take it. And yeah, at this point, oh no, JC. At this point, we want to keep our breeding pods going full tilt. Even with the dry season impending, we have enough water reserves that I feel comfortable doing that, and we're gonna need the population, especially if we're gonna be depending on beaver power for our engine of industry here. Building lacks workers. No one. Oh, that must have been where JC was working. Yeah. Let's pump the brakes here. We could use a good brake pumping. Just to make sure all of our other critical things are jobs are being filled. So that our trees are getting planted and our forester does not fall too far behind. Meanwhile, down here, yeah, these are going to take a while. I mean, not too long to grow and mature here, and they should be able to survive a drought. They should also be able to survive, at least these ones up here, and these are the ones that are important, should be able to survive and continue to be hydrated by the aura strictly from the Blue Lagoon, even once this latter part dries up. We're starting to, how much are we filling? Yeah, we're getting to a lot of scrap metal here. I think our general purpose storage is starting to fill up here. I'm going to turn off some of our scavenger flags. In fact, I'm going to turn off 2 of the 3. Just so we don't completely max out our general storage over here with metal. It will be good that we have metal over here in the somewhat near future. But we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. Trust me, we're getting there. All right, how are you doing? Almost half full. You should be full. Got 0.3 days. We need more water here, please. Granted, we're probably having some beavers taking some sips from here, but that's understandable. Once the drought hits, I am going to absolutely turn off this deep water pump, because I know for a fact that pumping from it is going to cause our areas to our stream over here to dry up, and that's going to do more harm than good as far as the crops go and the keeping trees going on. Not that we're at a dire shortage of food here. We've got plenty. The only reason we have a smaller amount of bread is because we don't have enough flour processing power here. But that will be changing in due time. But now we have a 14-day drought. 14-day drought. Boy howdy. Let's turn you off. Nah. No reason in keeping everybody here in here. Whew, 14-day drought. Wow. Okay. Well, maybe I should have gone deeper on this one. That might be before we even get into the industrial zone. We might want to deepen the Blue Lagoon. At the very least, maybe get a few more extractors going on it. 'Cause damn. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent, your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar, signing out. See ya! And see, I told you these areas would stay fertile even after the areas out here dried up.